little bit of an Orwellian headline, but I'll let you be the judge if you trust what the legislation says versus how you think this will be implemented in practice.
I'm just gonna go to sleep because he's gonna have thoughts.
Oh, I know. I haven't even said a word, and you're gearing up. There's a vein popping out of his forehead already.
Ready. Oh, man. By the way, is this an AI image? This is a great use of AI here.
It is, yeah.
That's cool.
Image. Burned about 4 cubic acres of rainforest to make that. So.
That's sick, yeah. I could tell. My power bill spiked. Yeah.
So there are regulations in Europe and the U.S. that are going to mandate driver monitoring software, which is a scary headline, but let me explain about the detail of the regulation a little bit more. In Europe, it's to monitor for distractedness and driver fatigue. In the U.S., it was part of the infrastructure bill that was passed under the Biden administration that included a mandate by 2027 for all new vehicles to have driver monitoring software, see if drivers are falling asleep or if they're, for whatever reason, impaired. And it's designed to monitor things like where your eyes are looking, your head movements, drowsiness, the amount you're blinking per minute is a big indicator on how tired you are. In Europe, written in the legislation, and this is in there to quell any fears about government surveillance, the software is not supposed to be able to identify you. It's only supposed to use, whatever model it was based on to see if you're tired. In addition to not being able to identify who you are, it's also supposed to be set in a closed loop where it's not going to record and send it out somewhere. So again, I will let you be the judge if you think you trust that. I have my concerns. I don't think this concerns you at all, so we'll probably just skip whatever you had to say.
I'll be as brief as I can.
Can you go to the next segment?
Yeah, we'll move on. I have one more thing to say. Many vehicles already have this, not mandated by law. Any vehicles that, not any vehicles, but a lot of vehicles that have hands-free driving monitor to make sure you're not just falling asleep or doing something else with your free time while the car is driving itself, you're not paying attention. And automakers have tried to straddle this line of appeasing the government while also understanding that a lot of their customers don't want this and acknowledging that the technology really isn't there for just a universal, widespread adoption in every new vehicle. That's the facts.
Let's start with your last point first.
What's your take?
My Tesla, if you don't have your hands on the wheel, will beep at you because it can tell when there's getting steering input. That is a driver monitoring system. The 2018 Ford Ranger I drove for work a few years back, if you crossed over the lane lines like 3 times in one driving trip, it would give you a warning and say, hey, you might be fatigued. So like if you...
That was a 2018?
No, 2018.
Wow.
That's also a driver monitoring system. So I'm not entirely opposed to that idea if it can use the information it's using to... The idea that it's looking at you with a camera is a little concerning. And even then, I'm fine with that as long as it's clear to the customer that that's what's going on. Like Blue Cruise or Super Cruise from Chevrolet, in order for you to have your hands off the steering wheel, it has to be making sure you're paying attention. I had a rental car with this. I looked away long enough to change the radio. It would beep at me. Mm-hmm. People being able to opt out is the important part. If you can't get into a new car without being monitored, that's a problem. As far as it's only going to be used for this or that, we can all just skip that because that's all nonsense. It's going to be used in the worst way you can imagine. So we can just guarantee that right off the bat. So knowing this is going to be used in the worst possible way by the worst possible people, the market can use competition to get rid of that by saying okay, well, the cars that don't have this are selling. We're not going to include it, right? But if the government mandates it, that's a problem for me because then they don't have the option. Something that's not looking at you, giving you advice on maybe take a rest, not a big deal. Something that is looking at you, but you can opt out of, not a big deal. Something that is looking at you being mandated is a big problem.
Yeah, I feel similarly.
I, for one, welcome our government overlords.
They really know what's best, if we're being honest.
You're the guy giving the...
The party will not be happy with you, too.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? They put your head in a cage with live rats? Something like that.
I mean, that's pretty bad, but...
That's how the book ends.
I mean, what are your thoughts? I mean, other than you being totally on board?
Well, I'm a coastal liberal elite, so I
see no problem with it. Yeah,
I don't care. No,
he's going to be the one doing the monitoring.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly.
He's like, I don't have a problem with it.
He's better not be cranking it in traffic. I'm going to know.
I may be the youngest, but I'm big brother now.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Gosh, dang it. I was trying to get that out. Little brother gets to be big brother.
That's right. No, here's the deal. I wouldn't care much for a vehicle like this. But I will tell you, driving in Maryland, I'd very much like for everyone else to have this mandated. So I don't want to have it. I can trust myself. But I kind of want everyone else to be mandated to have these features.
Okay.
So
I completely recant my statement. You've made a great point. This should be standard on Nissan Altimas.
this is required on...
Nissan Altimas and Dodge Chargers.
I'm with you about it being mandated. If people want to relinquish that control and don't see an issue with it, okay. But that's why I really, again, we won't go a podcast without it somehow tying back to the Slate truck. The Slate truck doesn't have any of that. Doesn't have any driver assistance, any monitoring, anything. And they use that as a selling point. They say it all the time. It doesn't have any of that. And I wish I could buy one, mostly to help put my dollars toward a vote of like, this is what I want in a car. You know, it's not a big deal now because like, well, I'm not buying a brand new car. 5-10 years from now, if it's mandated, you're not going to be able to get away with not having.
I think it was MKBHD did a little short story a couple years back about all the different companies that steal your information, your driving information, and sell it to insurance companies. Mm-hmm. And Mazda was like the only one that didn't do it. Tesla was like the worst.
Really?
Because Tesla
gathers the most.
Mm-hmm. And Tesla has their own insurance company. You can get Tesla insurance and it's super cheap and everyone goes like, it's the best. But if you're someone who uses the Tesla like everyone wants to, it accelerates quickly and with the low center of gravity, it can corner well. And anyway, if you use it and drive it enthusiastically, your rates go through the roof.
If you go really out of hand, they actually dispatch a guy to your house. And whenever you go to the car, he gives you a nut tug every time. He just grabs them and just gives you a yank.
Thank you, Logan. Yeah.
You're welcome.
But no, Tesla's like the worst for selling your data.
That's kind of weird because they're like, yeah, I'll do 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. But
Yeah.
if you do that,
If you do it, your insurance rates are going to go up.
It's worth it. The nut tug's not that bad.
What's the nut tag for the carnival?
I actually do it just for the cheap thrill.
like, hey, Greg.
Morning.
He's like, I've said it before. You don't need to tip me.
Please stop making eye contact.
Are the noises necessary?
Just one kiss on the cheek.
If you keep doing that thing with your nipples, I have to call corporate.